All good.
Awesome. So I want to start off by giving you guys a little bit of a story of the second greatest adventure that I've ever had in my entire life. And as I said, I'm a licensed occupational therapist. I work at Buffalo Psychiatric Center. And so anyway, so I was on top of a cliff. And little spoiler alert, my first master's degree, I did a self-designed master's degree. And I did an 8-month non-motorized trip from Buffalo, New York down to Key West, Florida. So I hiked, biked, sailed, and canoed. I studied geology along the way, and I gave presentations to over 1,000 youth on the values of volunteerism and education and community service. So I'm going to share with you about that. So I was in Pennsylvania, and I was sitting on a rock outcrop, and I was overlooking a valley 500 feet below. And it was this completely clear sky. And there was no trees on 20 feet on either side of me. I mean, it was this giant open rock outcrop which just totally gave this amazing view. And as I was looking out over that valley, the way that sun would hit, and it was like dancing on the water of that river below, and the lights were all twinkling along the way. And one of the coolest things about this was the first dry, sunny day in over 2 weeks of rain and mugginess. And I don't know about you, but like, you know how you go through that day and it's just been rainy and muggy, and whatever you're doing, you come in, you're like, oh my God, I need to take a shower, right? Well, this was 2 weeks of that. And I finally had a clear day, and it was absolutely breathtaking. So I had a trail, I was eating a trail mix and some water, and I kind of got rested up. It was time to move on, so I put my backpack on, and then I turn around to get going, and all of a sudden, a timber rattler all of a sudden started saying hi. I had no idea where it was. And you know when you startle, you take those couple steps back, and you're like, oh my God. And all of a sudden I'm like, I'm on a cliff. Oh. I turned around and I looked. My heel was like this on the edge of the cliff. Did a little weight shift. Have you ever seen it in the movies when that little pebble gets knocked off and it goes, yeah. Yeah. That is exactly what that was like. Then I was like, ah. So I go, I'm getting off the cliff. Nah, that didn't move either. I was between a rattler and a ravine. Total freeze fear, and was like, how am I going to get out of this one? So I had to kind of take a couple breaths. Going back is not an option. Going forward, there's danger somewhere. I have no idea where it is. And being in the middle of the woods, if I get bit, it's going to be a little bit before I can get out, right? So I ended up finding that the clearest patch of rock that I could find, and basically just took this giant leap of faith to go to the biggest, safest place I could go and regroup. I'm here. I didn't get bit. In case you have that question. Then got back on the trail and went going. It was wild. It was wild. So why I say that, I wanted to get your attention. So anyway, let me ask you this, because we're talking. You guys saw Willowbrook, right?
Yeah.
All right. So here's my question. Let's talk about mental health, and just throw out there. What do you think if someone you hear has a mental health diagnosis? What comes to mind? And by the way, there is no right or wrong answer. Just honest answers. Just honest answers. Okay. So do me a quick favor. Just pop a little hand. Someone be brave. When you hear mental illness or someone who has mental illness, what comes to mind? Autism. Okay, what else? Schizophrenic. Okay, excellent. We're talking about some names of diagnosis. Something. All right, we're talking names, but what I'm saying is like what qualities come to mind? Like what image comes to mind? What do you think they're going to be like?
Difficult communication.
Difficult communication? Difficult communication. Okay, what else?
Antisocial.
Antisocial. Awesome, awesome.